Hi, I'm Ed Kowalczyk from the band Live. You're in Launch. Come check us out at The Hang.
Samadhi is sort of a state of realization or your own life journey. Everybody's is different, everybody's is unique. Every group of people's samadhi is different. And it's an Indian word, and basically it was taken, we took it totally out of context to use it with our band. But the four of us in our lives and what we've done as a band is our samadhi. That's what we've been doing, and that there are certain elements of it that people will never understand, never get to know, never be able to pull out of us, and that's our secret. We were basically in the middle of winter, and somebody suggested, just clear out of the blue, hey, let's go to the islands. Let's go someplace with a beach. And being, whatever, four young, enthusiastic guys, there was no one that could tell us no. So we rented a house in Jamaica and sat up in the one bedroom and basically just wrote the rest of the record there. And it was one of the best experiences I've ever had with our band, just because there seemed to be, there was no one else around and we were isolated, and we were really able to focus our energies. It's evil spelled backwards. Now I scared you all, didn't I? I was reading a Tom Clancy book, and they kept on talking about the government agency, the NSA, which is, I think, the National Security Agency, which just keeps track of, what I've learned is it keeps track of the FBI and the CIA. And I just by chance typed in NSA, and I went on this page that was all this anti-government page, and it gave you like the whole NSA's budget and all this stuff. And I was like, man, I thought for sure like there'd be FBI agents at my door within a couple of minutes. But that was, that was the craziest thing that I ever did see. And I could tell like I shouldn't be reading this.
This record, we utilized space more. I think we figured out that we didn't have to play every note and take up every space within, a bar or a measure or a verse. And we started to figure out that sometimes less is more. Coming from New York, be it good or bad, I think it allowed us to develop our own sound. I didn't really actually see a live band until I was, 16, 17, 18 years old. So we were kind of left to decide, we'd go out and buy the cool, whatever the freaky alternative record was at the time. And we thought that's what a band sounded like. We had no idea what a band sounded like live and performing. So, we went to the garage and we played some songs, and, we were like, I guess this is the way a band should sound. I read somewhere, but Gene Simmons had this comment in the LA Times about us. He said, I really love this band live, but I'm tired of the crap, the middle class suburban, PO'd, angst-ridden kid. I was thinking, well, I'm kind of lower than middle class. I'm kind of happy, and I'm 25 years old, so it's 3 strikes. We are REM and U2 and Pearl Jam all combined. We like it very much. Thank you. There's a lot of little things. I mean, like a gold record, playing the Spectrum in Philadelphia. I mean, there was just a lot of things. But it never once just kind of smacked me in the head and said, this is it.
I was like, hey, that sounds cool. Just use that. And it doesn't really have, maybe a set meaning to us. We just like the way the words sound together. When you start to analyze any name, it starts to become stupid. So it's like we found Live, we pulled it out of a hat basically and said, oh, that's cool, and are just living with it. I think people confused angst with seriousness. We're very serious about our music and are very into it, but we're definitely not angst-driven. We're not mad at the world or anything. We're very happy people, generally. We're not grunge. We never were grunge. We're not trying to be grunge. So that's just one of the bands that I really don't like to hear as an influence or something that we sound like, because we were playing together well before anyone even knew who Pearl Jam was, So whatever.
There's just a sexiness and an earthiness there that's like really pervasive. And I actually thought we'd go down there, my prediction was we'd go down there and write some really mellow songs, like this would be really relaxed. But we went down there and wrote Lakini's Jews and Unsheathed and all these like tripped out, really rockin' songs. I can't be in the place where I was, 3 years ago and play this music. It's a totally different place. It's much more cerebral and much less in your face and more like, just kind of come discover this thing with us rather than, here we are, It's bizarre. It's always like walking into some kind of weird movie, Twilight Zone or a David Lynch film when I go back there, because it's a really twisted place. It's kind of really content with itself, and somehow that's kind of evil to me. But it's fun. My family's there, so I love it. One of our very first shows, where we really gelled, back in New York, somewhere, it was probably a dance we played or something like that, where we all just looked at each other and said, this is what we want to do for the rest of our lives, or for at least the foreseeable future. If you could see the state of my computer room right now, I have a lot of broken equipment and things that I've thrown through walls because I can't get it to work. But I dig the power of the computer right now.